Bryan and Keogh hanging out with you on 540 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com. The Bucks saw their season come to an end last week, at the end of the week, at the hands of the Toronto Raptors, losing their Eastern Conference quarterfinal series, not moving on. The season is over. Just want to recap how the Bucks should be feeling at the end of their season. Keogh, if you could, pack it into a little nutshell, the entire season, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, how would you grade this Bucks season now that it is in the rearview mirror?
Well, if you would have asked me during mid-January when the Bucks were definitely at their lowest point, I would not have given them a decent grade. But now, if you ask me, like after that huge run in March and this playoff series against Toronto, I would say probably a solid B.
I don't think you can call it anything other than a successful season for the Milwaukee Bucks, just because of all the adversity that they faced. And you can look at some of the positives. Giannis burst onto the scene, Keogh, as a superstar this season, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you look at some of the negatives and the adversity they had to overcome this season. Before the season even began, Chris Middleton hurt himself. He was going to be out for 6 months. He was able to fight and get back and contribute in the playoffs for this team. Jabari Parker tearing his ACL for the second consecutive time. Can you just speak to the adversity that the Bucks had to face this season and how they overcame it?
It was very impressive. I mean, like you just said, with injuries to Chris and Jabari, it just seems like.
I mean, that's two of your big three.
Yeah, it just almost felt like they couldn't overcome that. But yes, it's just like it's really surprising to see that Chris was able to come back, and but sadly that was when Jabari got hurt. But from the looks of it, it looks like he might be able to come back again. It really amazes me how the Bucks, despite all of that, were able to make it to the playoffs.
It's a credit to Coach Kidd for making everything work with all the interchangeable pieces and making it just a winning product on the floor. That's what it was. They won basketball games this season. Credit to Coach Kidd, who some people had his job on the line if they didn't make the playoffs. And now I don't think you can even come close to saying that, looking back in retrospect. The other big storyline from the season, Keogh, was obviously Giannis bursting onto the national and international scene. What was your favorite Giannis moment from this season? Because there were a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely a lot of them. And I can't just narrow it down to just one moment.
Come on, narrow it down to one. There's plenty.
Okay, if there is one moment, it would have to be seeing him play in the NBA All-Star game for the first time. And one, just obviously his notable things is like encounter with Steph Curry. Like when he was going up for a dunk, obviously Steph Curry laid down and was like, I don't want any of this. But then later on, when Steph Curry was going for a rebound, he didn't notice Giannis was right behind him. And Giannis just put it right back down for the slam. And just seeing everybody's reactions, including DeAndre Jordan's, it was just like, oh, yeah, Giannis has arrived. Mm-hmm. He has arrived.
And it wasn't just the All-Star game, and that really was an incredible accomplishment for Giannis this season, being recognized as an NBA All-Star and being able to play in that game and some of the moments you just pointed out. But just in the run of regular season play, they beat the Cavaliers at home early in the season. That was an incredible moment. Giannis's buzzer beater at Madison Square Garden to beat the lowly Knicks. They are the Knicks, but still, a pretty incredible step-back buzzer beater from Giannis. Even in the playoffs, he blocked a shot with his elbow in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors.
That is crazy.
I mean, how much more can he grow? Because I think that's the exciting part about Giannis is he's just scratching the surface. How much do you think he can grow, Keogh?
Well, he's definitely living up to his name, the Greek Freak, and I per se don't know how much he can grow. He could literally just take over the league. I mean, everyone's already saying that once LeBron eventually retires, Giannis could be up in the running as the best player in the NBA at the time.
Yep. 800-990-3776 is the phone number to get in. You can tweet at us, as always, at ESPN Milwaukee. How would you grade this Milwaukee Bucks season now that it is indeed over? We will get to some of your responses coming up. It's Bryan and Keogh on 540 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.